Annika. This is my first actual YouTube video, talking YouTube video. Okay, so I'm making this video about Vipassanā. Vipassanā is the 10-day meditation retreat I did, the silent meditation retreat I did in Thailand. And people on my Instagram asked what was my experience, etc., and they submitted questions. And I really want to share this experience with anyone that's interested, because I really believe it was the top 5 best things I ever did in my life. Not even for myself, but in my life. And I really want to talk about it because it's something I strongly believe in. So yeah, I'm gonna answer your questions. I hope I'll do this really well. So I actually made a notebook because, knowing myself, I will lose track. So I actually made notes on what I should say and how I should say things. So let me start off with, where did I do Vipassana? So I did a 10-day silent meditation retreat in Thailand, in South Thailand, in a town called Suratani. It was just like it wasn't a touristic area. I did it by Swanmok. I'm gonna leave the website link down below in this, what do you even call this, biography? YouTube details, yeah. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna put the website down below. Yeah, so I did a meditation retreat with Swanmok, which is a Buddhist monastery. I actually didn't know it was quite Buddhist. I just thought it was a place where they would do retreats at. But yeah, it did have Buddhist influence. So, and most actual Vipassana meditations have Buddhist influences. It was done by Swanmok Dhamma Heritage. So I did a 10-day meditation retreat. I actually went on for 11 days and it was started on the 1st of April. So I did it there in a monastery. I have some photos below. I'm gonna probably put some photos inside this video as well. Yeah, and it was about 100 people that joined the retreat that we did. We came at shoulder season time, so it was the last. They do it every single month, but we went during the time when it became when it was actually less busy. So with those men and women, both segregated. Let me tell you what you can't do. Yeah. So for 10 days, no speaking to anyone, no phones at all, no electronics. To the extent where you can't read books, you can't journal, no drawing. You're not meant to do any of those things. You just meditate, eat, pause, breathe. Just nothing to distract you. The whole point of Vipassana is you're with yourself and only yourself. And that was actually tough, because if you know me, I love to write, I love to journal, and I love to draw. And I felt so tempted to draw. Someone asked what is the timetable? So what is it like? So you wake up 4:30 in the morning, the bell rings, it's a big gong, so you're bound to wake up. 4:30 in the morning, go to the hall, meditate for an hour. You have a guide, you have like a monk or a teacher or something that's at the front, guiding you in the meditation, in silent meditation. And then after that you have like a speech for 1 hour. And then you have another meditation. And then you have yoga. And then you have breakfast. You have breakfast at 8:30, vegetarian. And then you go do your chores, and then take a little break, meditate, talk, meditate, talk. You get the drill. Basically, it's like this. It's just like meditate, talk, break, eat. We only eat twice a day. What do you eat? What's the food like? So you eat 2 meals a day. You eat 8:30 in the morning and you eat 12:30. Like after 1:30 actually, you don't eat for the rest until the next day, until the next morning. And the meals are technically vegan. They said it's vegetarian. And I'm not vegan. I'm not. I do eat meat sometimes. I don't eat it too much. It's mostly if my mom cooks it for me, then I'll eat, or for my family, then I'll eat meat. I thought like that would be hard, like as in I thought my body wouldn't be okay with the fact that it just went from eating, eggs and seafood straight to completely vegan, but my body was completely fine. I did not feel any need to eat meat. Only actually, I had a craving for sushi on my last few days. I was like, okay, like if I was gonna leave, it was gonna be because of sushi. Like I was craving it so badly. Like the food was tasty there. The thing is, the food is like, it's monk food, so the food that monks eat. So whatever the monks eat, that's what you eat. And with Buddhism, like true Buddhism, is that you believe in a simple life. You don't follow a life of desires. And that's why when it comes to food, the food is quite bland. It's not crazy, full of crazy flavors. It's quite bland. And it's all linked back to the idea of repressing your desires and being in control of your desires, not following them, which is another topic in itself. So one of the questions was, what made me want to do Vipassana, silent meditation retreat? Good question. I've always wondered what it would be like to just shut up for a while. You know, just to shut up. What would it be like? And then I spoke to one of my best friends who told me how her sister did something like this in London. And I was like, oh, okay. It's actually a thing. Like I've always wondered, like, you know, what would it be like to actually not be allowed to speak, to be in a place where you're not supposed to speak, like, and forcing yourself not to speak because you have no option to speak. I've always wondered what it would be like. So, and just after hearing, like, wait, this is actually a thing. So then I Googled it. Like, I just went on Google and I just typed silent meditation, you know, and it was actually a thing. And I was like, oh, okay. I actually, towards the end of last year, towards the end of 2018, I researched into whether they do these things in Thailand, you know, like, because basically I plan to travel for 6 months, like, it's something I was planning to do. And I was like, what better time to do it than when I'm traveling? And I found out in Thailand that they did something like this. And I was like, oh, okay, why not? The one which I joined, you don't need to sign up online. You just turn up the day before, register, and that's what you do. And yeah, so that's what made me do it. And also I'm very into things that challenge me inwardly. Like, I'm really, really into that. So I was like, what better way to challenge myself and look into myself more than a meditation retreat? So that's why I did a meditation retreat, and I really recommend it to everyone. Extremely do. You learn so much about yourself, and the thing is, you get so surprised by yourself. The best advice I could give to anyone would be go in there with no expectations at all. One of the questions was, have I learned anything about myself? Yes and yeah. I learned a lot. I think everyone can agree. Everyone that joined the meditation retreat can agree that you learn a lot about your own mind and the patterns that follow it. I'm still not saying I'm completely not perfect yet when it comes to controlling my own mind and my own thoughts. But it really has shown me my patterns and my triggers. It showed me when are my thoughts really the truth, and when is it just me overthinking things. Because the thing is with the mind is that most of the time your mind is just chatting shit. Most of the time we have a gazillion thoughts every single day, and 95% of it it's completely false. The opinions you make of yourself, the opinions you make of others, the opinions you make on anything. So it really showed me when I was on the retreat, when am I actually overthinking? Like, you know, there's thinking and then there's overthinking and then there's dwelling, and all of that just creates suffering within yourself just because you're overthinking the past, the future, and stuff that hasn't even happened yet. The main thing it really showed me was my own mind. One thing about myself is that I'm very quick to give opinions, and I didn't realize this actually. I've always thought that I'm quite, you know, chill when it comes to opinions. Like, I'm just like whatever. And yeah, that's one thing it really showed myself about myself, was how I am quick to make opinions. And even still, I think it's so natural, as humans, we grow up to create opinions about everything since we're young. Like when your mom asks you, do you like red or blue? When a teacher tells you that's not good effort, when a teacher in your class is like, you didn't do a good job, that's already an opinion in itself. And so it's so natural to be so opinionated. But the thing is that the meditation retreats, what it does, it showed me you don't have to be stuck in how you've been conditioned in society and since you're young. Hey, I'm talking like this, but I'm still not a freaking perfect human being. I still, that's what I would say with meditation retreat. It's not like I've come out and I'm like a complete changed person, ooh, enlightened. Like, no, I'm still the same person. It's just shown me, as with all new experiences, it does shift you. That's one thing I've learned about myself, is my mind and how it works, and the opinions I create within my own head. And was it hard? Yes and no. So, surprisingly, the easiest thing was not talking for 11 days. And if you know me, you'll know that I'm a complete chatterbox. And the thing is that was actually the most easiest thing. Oh, and not using your phone. Like, I did not feel the urge to have my phone on me. I did not give a shit about what was going on. Actually, no, I did kind of question, like, I hope my friends are okay, or my family's okay, my mom's okay. Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, I hope people are okay. That was the only thing I was thinking about, like, in terms of what is going on, like, people messaging me on my phone, or is there bad news going on? Like, yeah, that was the one thing I was concerned about, but otherwise it wasn't, like, difficult. But I would say, like, the hardest thing was meditating. I first started meditating 2 years ago, but the thing is, I've never sat 6 hours meditating. I've never done that before. So that was definitely the hardest thing. And the thing is, like, meditating is more than just like being like and like sitting down. It's being with your own mind and observing your thoughts and observing the breath. That was the most important thing. And they taught us a lot about anapanasati, which is a breathing technique for meditation, and that's what we were practicing over there. So I would say it was definitely meditation in itself that was the most difficult, because it's so freaking difficult just to be with your head, and you can't talk to anyone about it. You can't express yourself. You can't express yourself with any other way. No talking, no writing, no reading, no drawing. The whole point is about observing your mind and distinguishing your thoughts and being in the moment. And the only way to be in the moment is by being with the breath, because your breath is what anchors you down to the present. That's what they really, really taught us, and it's so true. It's so true. It taught us so much about how when you observe the breath, you are fully present. When you are with your body, I can make a whole nother video about this, but it's just gonna be too long. Like, really, like, I would love to make like another in-depth video, but I think this video will just cover like more of the basic outlines. If you have the opportunity and you're questioning whether to do it. There's no such thing as I'm ready. You're never really ready for anything. So yeah, so that was the answer to, was it hard? And one of the next questions was, did it make you question your own beliefs with the world? Yeah, completely. It made me actually question a lot about the beliefs that I was taught since young. So one of the things that really, really surprised me was how Buddhism is almost talks about the same things that my parents taught me when I was little. So if you don't know, I grew up in a Muslim family. I was so surprised at how similar Islam and Buddhism is. And it made me question, like, how at the end of the day, yeah, all religions are different, but at the end of the day, their core essence is quite the same, is very much the same. Well, at the end of the day, Buddhism, they speak about how people are in search of nibbana, but we mask our desire for nibbana with material desires, and that really did hit me. I was like, wow, because that is completely what my or my parents or my family or like this the Islamic classes that I was brought to when I was little, was like, whoa, okay, they kind of teach the same thing, and I feel like they're onto something when it comes when they speak about how we really do mask our need for peace with desires. It really made me question like how, you know, we have this in society, we have this lifestyle of YOLO, 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 like do whatever the frick you want, but are you really happy? Like it made me question, like, are you really happy? I'm not saying we live like that 24/7, but it made me ask myself. Sometimes I've done things when I wasn't listening to myself, like date someone. I dated this person because I felt desire of loneliness. I didn't want to be lonely, but really my soul, myself was telling me all these signs like, you don't need that, this isn't for you, this is your desire speaking. And made me really look back on decisions I've made in the past and think, if I didn't listen to my desire, myself, my true self, would have said something else. Like, I wouldn't have been caught up in that situation. But of course, everything you go through is for your own growth. Sorry, that's the wind. Yeah, everything you go through, it only aids your own growth. But yeah, it really made me see the beauty of all religions today. But yeah, I'm not religious myself. At the end of the day, I think every religion has beauty, and it's up to you to select what is for you and what's not for you. Like, I'm not Buddhist. Buddhism has really taught me things that I will definitely carry with me throughout my life, as well as Islam, and I'm sure other religions, if I studied it, I'm sure it would teach me values that I would carry with me. And you don't have to belong to a certain religion to follow things. Like, I'm not Buddhist, but there's definitely some things from Buddhism that I will take into my life, for sure. Oh, okay, and next question is, weird things I experienced on the retreats. So, sorry, I'm just kind of making this, yeah. Weird things I experienced. So, to my surprise, is that food tasted more intense. Like, you were just so much more sensitive. Your senses were more sensitive. Taste, touch, your breath. In a sense, like, when I touched something, when I touched the water, it felt more, like, not as if like you're on drugs, but like as if when you ate, you felt the taste. You really, really, really felt it. It's so different. And I think it all stems from the fact that you're not so stimulated so much when you're conscious. Like, you're not so very distracted. You're not doing so much. You're more within yourself. You're more in the present. So then when you taste, when you touch, you feel it more. And it's so true. Like, when you're just more in the present, you just feel things more. And this also links back to dreams, actually. I had very wild dreams. In general, I have strange dreams, but when I was on the retreat, it was even more wild. Like, almost to the point where I felt like I was lucid dreaming. But yeah, they felt very, very vivid and very like I was actually in the dream. Yeah, and it all stems from the fact that you don't have so much stimulation in the daytime, that your subconscious creates so many imaginations, so many things when you're sleeping, when you're unconscious. And this leads me to my last few questions is, how did you feel after the retreat? All sorts of things. I think if there's one word to sum up, was overwhelmed. I was completely overwhelmed. So on our last day, we were allowed to speak when we were leaving, and we all gathered in the hall. We were all sharing our experiences together, and it was so nice speaking to people. It was so nice, like putting a voice to their faces and actually speaking to them and seeing a personality, because we didn't speak for the last 11 days. So speaking to them was like, everyone felt some sort of euphoria. like, and it felt so, like, our faces, I was speaking to another girl, and she's saying how, like, moving her mouth, she felt like a flush in her face. Like, it was so weird. So that was the first thing I felt after the retreat, was euphoria and just weird movements on my face. And another thing that was really, really weird, actually, was looking at my face. Because basically, so for those days, for the whole retreat, you had no mirror at all, so I couldn't see myself at all. And when I finally, like, opened the camera, and I was like, okay, I don't, like, that was like, okay, I don't want to look at myself, that's so weird. Like, I was looking at myself for a while, I was like, oh my god, it felt so weird to look at your own appearance. And yeah, that was definitely, like, one thing I felt was how I felt afterwards. Like, I didn't really want to look too much at myself, and if I looked at myself, I would stare at myself. So that's how I felt afterwards, post retreat. I felt all kinds of happy in a way. Like, I felt so in the moment, and I still feel very in the moment now, but way more distracted though. And this links back to what advice I would give you if you wanted to go do a retreat, and that is to have no expectations at all. Well, and that's actually what I told myself before I went to the retreat, because 2 weeks beforehand I went to Australia and I met a girl who was studying Buddhism, and she did the retreat so many times, and she actually lived in a meditation center. And she told me, my number one advice to you is have no expectations. Don't think it's gonna be good, don't think it's gonna be bad, just go, because you will be surprised. I think the retreat showed me things that I didn't expect. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope it's really helpful. There's so much that I could say, to be honest, so much, but it will just be like an hour-long video. Maybe I will make another video that will probably talk way more in depth, but maybe. But I think hopefully this was enough to answer your questions. I hope you found it useful. And yeah, feel free to comment, and I will definitely answer the questions, or just DM me on Instagram or anything. Yeah, so thanks for listening.